Good morning, YouTubians. It's Kermit's Ghost. You can call me Alan. It is Monday, the 3rd of August, 2026. Yes, we are making our way through the year pretty quickly now, and it's a beautiful day down here on the south coast. So make the most of it, because it'll be winter before you know it, and you'll be praying for days like this. Mark my words. Now, it's a Blu-ray release day today, so I'm going to head up to HMV, and as I wasn't here last week, I will film this week's releases as well as last week, so you don't miss out. And I'll give you some information about each and every title that comes out, and then I'll bring you back here and I'll talk about some recent pickups. But obviously, before all that's done, I will be grabbing a latte from Costa Coffee, not a sponsor. Now, during the week, I went out to two places. I went to Shoreham Harbor, which is about 15 minutes drive up the coast. I will include that footage after this. And I also made the mistake of going out on Saturday because it was Brighton Pride, one of the biggest ones in Europe, and I went out and the streets were just chaos, absolute chaos, people everywhere, roads blocked off. But I had to go out because I had to pick up a GoPro battery for this actual camera, so I had to go to CEX, and whilst I was there I filmed some Blu-rays that were on the shelves as well, so I include that footage as well. So that's enough chit chat. I will see you all up in HMV in just a moment. I'll see you soon. So, midweek, I went to Shoreham Harbor, which is about a 25-minute drive west of my location along the coast, because I wanted to pop into a specific shop, and unfortunately, when I got there, it was closed, which is typical of my luck. But I started filming as I arrived. There's only a few short clips in this, so I decided to include it in the video anyway, and the sun was shining, and the views are lovely. Now, I'm currently standing midway across the Ada Ferry Bridge, which crosses the River Ada. I've just come from the Lower Beach Road and I'm heading towards Shoreham High Street. And this bridge replaced the old footbridge, and it was opened by the Duke of Gloucester in 2013. This river has a very quick tide, and I believe it's in the process of going out. Now, I'm on the King Charles III coastal path, and at the top of the road we got St Mary de Hauser Church, which was built in 1096, so it is creeping up to 1,000 years old, which would make it a Norman church. And panning around, there is a selection of arts and crafts and charity shops, as well as an array of cafes, so you can grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee. So here I am, about to go into HMV in Brighton, and I'll go through last week's releases first, and I will start with 30 Days of Night, from Icon Films distribution, and it's a vampire horror movie from 2007, directed by David Slade. This is set in Barrow, Alaska, and it sees the townspeople having their annual month-long polar night, which is basically nighttime for an entire month. It sees a small group of vampires arrive by ship to take advantage of the situation. It stars Josh Hartnett, Melissa George, Danny Houston and Ben Foster. And this one's priced at £19.99. Elevator, The Bottled Fools next on Treasured Films. This is a Japanese science fiction horror movie from 2004, directed by Hiroki Yamaguchi. This follows a 17-year-old telepathic girl escaping security and creating an explosion and chaos with an illegal cigarette. This has an 18 certificate and it's priced at £18.99. Dan Da Dan Season 2 next from Anime Limited. The first Blu-ray I'm showing here carries the HMV exclusive artwork. The other one doesn't. Now, when the townsfolk make sacrifices to appease the underground spirit, Gigi becomes possessed by a vengeful spirit, and instead of destroying it, he befriends it. How nice. The Blu-ray is priced at £32.99 and it carries a 15 certificate. Ping Pong next from 88 Films. This is a Japanese sports film from 2002, directed by Fumihiko Sori. It's about school friends Peko and Smile, who are both playing ping pong for their school, but Peko has a crisis of confidence and must redevelop his love for the sport. This one is priced at £19.99. On the Beach next on the BFI. This is a science fiction drama from 1959, directed by Stanley Kramer. Set in Australia, sees the last remaining survivors of World War III contemplating the approaching deadly nuclear fallout and the end of humanity. This one is priced at £16.99. The Criterion release for Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore on 4K next. This is a romantic drama from 1974, directed by Martin Scorsese. About a single mother and her precocious son who travel from New Mexico to California in order to start her singing career that she put on hold. It stars Ellen Burstyn, Chris Christopherson, Diane Ladd, Jodie Foster and Harvey Keitel. This one is priced at £29.99. Strictly Ballroom next on Vision's Home Video. This is a romantic drama from 1992 that's co-written and directed by Baz Luhrmann. This is Scott, a flashy dancer, annoying the Australian Dance Federation with his unorthodox style and blatant disregard for the rules. This stars Paul Mercurio and Tara Maurice. The Blu-ray is priced at £14.99 and the 4K is priced at £24.99. And this film carries a 12 certificate. X, The Unknown Next from Hammer Films. This is a science fiction horror movie from 1956 directed by Leslie Norman about a subterranean blob that escapes from a crack in the ground and feeds on atomic energy and human heat. This stars Dean Jagger, Leo McKern, Anthony Newley, Fraser Hines and Kenneth Cope. And this one is priced at £24.99. Blow the Night and Scars of the Sun next from Third Window Films. And here we have two movies. First is Blow the Night, a Japanese hard-hitting docudrama about substance abuse from 1983. And the second one is Scars of the Sun, which is a Japanese youth drama from 1981. This release will set you back £34.99. Glenrothan next from Lionsgate Films. This is a comedy drama from last year directed by Brian Cox. It's about brothers Donald and Sandy. One fled to Chicago, the other one stayed in Scotland to run the family business. Now, can these two siblings put things behind them and rebuild their relationship? This stars Alan Cumming and Brian Cox and it's priced at £15.99. Deep Water next from Signature Entertainment. This is a survival film from this year directed by Rennie Harlin. After a plane crashes in the Pacific Ocean, the survivors have to fight off hungry sharks. This stars Aaron Eckhart and Ben Kingsley, and this one is priced at £14.99. Soylent Green next from Arrow. This is a dystopian thriller from 1973 that is directed by Richard Fleischer, and this is set way in the future in 2022. Can you imagine that? This sees New York detective uncovering a disturbing truth on how the overpopulated city is being fed. This stars Charlton Heston, Chuck Connors, Edward G. Robinson, Lee Taylor Young, Joseph Cotton and Brock Peters. That's one hell of a cast right there. The Blu-ray is priced at £17.99 and the 4K is priced at £24.99. Hard Boiled next from Arrow. This is a Hong Kong action film from 1992 that's directed by John Woo, who also wrote the story. It's about an inspector and an undercover cop who team up to take down a gun-smuggling triad organisation who are using a hospital as cover. It stars Tony Leung and Chow Yun-fat, and the Blu-ray is priced at £17.99 and the 4K is priced at £24.99. The Outfit next from Arrow. This is a neo-noir crime movie from 1973 that was co-written and directed by John Flynn. When a man's brother is killed by a criminal organisation known as the Outfit for robbing one of their banks, goes on a revenge mission with his loyal partner and his girlfriend who want reparations. It stars Robert Duvall, Karen Black and Joe Don Baker. Again, great cast. This one is priced at £17.99. Okay, here's a quick look over the Stranger Things box sets, and for some reason I couldn't focus on the front cover of this black, smaller Blu-ray box set. This is the basic set, which is priced at £134.99, which is still expensive. Comes with an episode guide and 2 posters. There's also a 4K of this basic set, and you can pause the back for content details. Both the Blu-ray and the 4K of these smaller sets contain 25 discs each, and the 4K set is priced at £144.99, which is £10 extra. And as for the show itself, it's a science fiction horror which is set in the 1980s in the fictional town of Hawkins, and it has multiple storylines and multiple characters who inevitably all link up to fight an evil entity. It's a great show, and it's one I'll take a longer look at in a future video. Now, moving on to the deluxe versions, you can see from the outer box cover that this is a thing of beauty. It depicts some of the story from the show with images of the characters in various scenes dotted around. Inside, you get 25 discs, same as the basic set, but in addition, you get a Hellfire self-adhesive patch, you get 25 art cards, a Palace Arcade coin, a Hellfire club card, I believe that is, could be wrong, 5 double-sided posters, a double-sided fold-out Hawkins map showing the town and the Upside Down, plus a 148-page perfect bound book. The Blu-ray Deluxe set is priced at £179.99, and the 4K Deluxe set is priced at £199.99. And in case you're wondering, I went for the basic Blu-ray set because of cost and space. I think that is a better option in the long run. So, on to this week's releases. I will start with The Devil Wears Prada 2 from Elevation. It's a comedy drama from this year, directed by David Frankel, who also directed the first film. And this is set 20 years after that first installment and sees a Runway magazine article praising sweatshops and a possible takeover of the company. This stars Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, Kenneth Branagh and Stanley Tucci. The Blu-ray is priced at £15.99 and the 4K is priced at £24.99. 2 boxes, Televised Terror in Franco, Spain from Radiance Films next. These are made for TV movies and contains a telephone box from 1972, which is about a man trapped inside a public telephone box in a city square. And the other film is The Television from 1974. It's about a man who buys a new TV set and becomes so obsessed with it that he starts to lose its grip on reality. This set will set you back £19.99. The Michael Jackson story next from Kaleidoscope Entertainment. This is a documentary about the controversial singer-songwriter Michael Joseph Jackson, covering his rise to fame and the allegations he strongly denied. It's got input from Michael, his house sister LaToya, as well as the singer Dionne Warwick. And this one is priced at £12.99. The 4K release of The Hourglass Sanatorium next from Radiance Films. This is a Polish surreal drama from 1973. It sees a young man visiting his dying father in a remote hospice that seems to defy time, where memories are wandering the halls. This one is priced at £24.99. Well, I had the crazy idea of popping into CX on Saturday, just as everybody in Brighton was gearing up for the Pride event, just to see what they have. And we'll start here with Ready or Not 2 on Blu-ray for £12. Not a bad price, as it is £16 from Amazon and £16 in HMV. The Running Man for £6 sounds like a bargain, and it is, because it's £10 in HMV and Amazon. Reminders of Him for £10, that's £16 in Amazon and £16 from HMV. Magnolia for £12, this is a tenner from Amazon and a tenner from HMV. Lincoln for £1.50, bargain, it's £8 in HMV and £7.82 from Amazon. I Am Legend for £2.50, it's £8.11 from Amazon and £8 in HMV. Is This Thing On for a tenner? Well, it's £12 in HMV and it's £12 from Amazon. Hyde Park on Hudson for £2, there are no new copies on Amazon and none in HMV, so it looks like an out-of-print title. Dracula from 2025 for £8. This is £10 in HMV and £10 on Amazon. And Colour Out of Space for £8. This is £8 new from Amazon and £8 in HMV. Well, I was quite a while in CEX filming and buying a new GoPro battery, so now I'm walking home. The Pride event is about to start in this area. This is Victoria Garden, stone throw from the Royal Pavilion. Fountain is on, atmosphere is very good, people are enjoying the weather. I'll hang around and see if I can film some of the procession. Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, I've got 1 suspense drama and 3 creature features to show you, so let's crack on with it. Okay, let's start out with The Deadly Mantis. This is a science fiction creature feature from 1957, directed by Nathan Juran. He also directed Attack of the 50-Foot Woman and The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, so we're in good hands here. Starts out with a massive prehistoric praying mantis thawing out after being trapped in the ice for God knows how long up in the North Pole. This is all happening because there's a volcanic eruption down in the South Pole and it causes the icebergs to move around and crumble. Meanwhile, Red Eagle 1, which is a military radar observation station based in northern Canada, and they have a smaller outposting called Weather 4, which is even further north, they're being attacked by something huge and unknown. So the commanding officer, Colonel Joe Parkman, who's being played by Craig Stevens, he flies out to investigate and he finds that the buildings are destroyed and the men are all missing. Craig's films include Buchanan Rides Alone and Killer Bees from 1974, which needs a Blu-ray release. So a little bit later, military plane, a Douglas C-47 Skytrain, also attacked. The Colonel expands his investigation. He finds this large, sharp object at the crash site. Again, the pilots are missing. He has the object examined and it's identified as a spur from an insect leg. And I'll leave the story there, but I will mention it also stars William Hopper as a paleontologist who first identifies what the creature is. Williams' films include The Maltese Falcon and Rebel Without a Cause. Plus there's also Alex Tolton as a scientific magazine editor called Marge Blaine. She travels with William to get photos of the deadly mantis, and she attracts a lot of attention from these female deprived men at the base. Good fun. Fun film, as I said. Love the 1950s science fiction movies, and this one didn't disappoint at all. And the effects were actually achieved by using a 200-foot paper mache model of the praying mantis, complete with hydraulics as well to make it move. Perfect. It's got a short runtime, just 1 hour 19 minutes. Let's take a look inside. The front cover image has been put onto the disc. So that was the Italian import of the deadly mantis. Okay, next one to show you is Empire of the Ants. This is a science fiction biohazard creature feature from 1977 that was co-written and directed by Burt Ira Gordon. His initials and his filmography earned him the nickname Mr. Big. His films include King Dinosaur, The Amazing Colossal Man, Cyclops and Earth vs. the Spider. Now this is set in and around the Florida Keys and it stars Joan Collins as Marilyn. She is this dodgy land developer who is trying to sell on this stretch of swampland to gullible clients, and she's passing it off as the opportunity of a lifetime and a future tropical paradise. Now, as she arrives at this location by boat with around 10 investors, we see these barrels of radioactive waste have been washed ashore, they've cracked open, and the toxic contents inside are now exposed to a colony of ants. And soon these ants grow to at least 6 feet long, depending on the scene. Sometimes they're a little bit bigger. As Joan and her assistant Charlie are driving the investors around the area, they start to get picked off one by one. Giant ants are giving off this eerie sound, and we get a point of view through their compound eyes, which is kind of nice to see. And to add to the visitor's dilemma, these ants are excreting pheromones that actually control the people in the neighbouring village. I won't say any more, but this was a lot of fun. You should watch it. It also stars Robert Pine, Chris Pine's dad. You may remember Robert was in a TV show, Chips, which was actually started filming 6 weeks after this film was released. In this, Robert is this womanizing creep, and it's nice to see him getting picked off quite early. As for the effects, well, Burt used a combination of effects ranging from actual ants on miniature sets, large rubber models and forced perspective, and obviously some of the scenes work a little bit better than the others. This one's got a runtime of 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's take a look inside. Slipcover and the cover have a different image. On the reverse of the cover there is a screenshot from the film, and you can see some of those ants are a little bit bigger than 6 feet in length. There's a plain disc, and there is a 16-page booklet included. So that was Empire of the Ants. Next title to show you is The Housemaid. This is a suspense drama from last year that's directed by Paul Feig. His films include Bridesmaids, Last Christmas, A Simple Favour, as well as its sequel. Now this stars Sydney Sweeney as Millie. She has recently been released from prison. She served 8 years of her sentence, but she's on parole, so she needs to get a steady job and not mess up, or she's going to be put straight back inside. So she attends this interview for the position of housemaid. It's for a rich couple with a daughter. Now the couple are Nina, who's being played by Amanda Seyfried from Mamma Mia, and there's Andrew as well, being played by Brandon Sklenner, who you'll know as Spencer Dutton from the TV show 1923. So Millie, she gets a job, she starts to settle in, but Nina starts having these massive mood swings, almost as if she's got multiple personalities. 1 minute she's adorable, next minute she is screaming at Millie and threatening her job. And this is with no means or motive as well. She even calls the police on her, reports her car stolen when she actually told Millie to go and use it to get her chores done. So this erratic behaviour starts to push Millie into Andrew's arms for comfort. I won't say any more story-wise, but I will mention it also stars Elizabeth Perkins as Andrew's emotionally controlling mother, Evelyn. Now you'll know Elizabeth, she played Susan's mother in Miracle on 34th Street, but in this she kind of looks like Cruella de Vil in looks and in personality as well. There's also Mikhail Marone as the groundskeeper. Now Mikhail was in Subservience, which I talked about on this channel previously. Now this was a very good film, nice twist in it as well, and the music in this is by Theodore Shapiro, who's provided scores on Tropic Thunder, Did You Hear About the Morgans, Secret Life of Walter Mitty and A Simple Favour, as well as its sequel. This one's got a runtime of 2 hours 11 minutes, but it zips by. Let's take a look inside. So the image from the front cover has been put onto the disc. So that was The Housemaid. Okay, next and last is Deep Star 6. It's a creature feature from 1989 directed by Sean S. Cunningham. He directed Friday the 13th back in 1980, and then he moved over to being a producer rather than being a director, apart from the occasional obscure movie. Now, this is about an American deep underwater facility which is being manned by a crew of 11 people. Some are military, some are civilians. Now, this underwater project is to test whether or not it's possible for people to colonise the seabed. Plus, of course, it's America, so they're putting a nuclear silo on the site. The crew all under the command of Captain Philip Laidlaw, who's being played by Tareen Black. Now, Tareen, probably best known for playing Detective Neil Washington in Hill Street Blues, which was also back in the 1980s. So anyway, deadline is quickly approaching, and unfortunately, the scientists, they discover this large cavern, and they attempt to seal it by detonating explosives all around the entrance and collapsing it. And to be fair, the explosives do their job, but the aftershock causes the seabed to collapse, opening up this huge fissure. So they send in a submersible to investigate, and they are attacked by some massive prehistoric creature who is less than happy to see them. That's all I'm going to say story-wise, but I will mention it also stars Miguel Ferreira as a mechanic with an attitude. Miguel, you'll know he was in Robocop. He played the character Bob. He was that ambitious executive of OCP. And this, by the way, was written by Louis Abernathy, who went on to star in Titanic. He was the guy they called Mr. Bodine. He explained to old Rose how the Titanic sank. Remember him? This was the first time watching me, and because it was a blind buy, I found it to be very entertaining, so it was money well spent. Picture quality, very good indeed. And it's got a runtime of 1 hour 39 minutes. Let's take a look inside. The slipcover and the cover have the same image. This has 4 art cards. And the image from the cover has been put onto the disc. So that was Deep Star 6. So that was it. Have you seen any of those? Do you plan to pick them up or just want to leave a comment? Then do so down below. I will read every single one and I'll try to reply if I have the time. Give the video a thumbs up, really does help the channel. And subscribe if you haven't. It's all free. Why wouldn't you? On that note, all I have to say is thank you so much for choosing my channel today and watching my video. Take care. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.